Hi there, this is Dr. John Whitcomb talking about vitamin D prevents dementia, and now we know why. This is a fascinating study. The basic paper was published just last year in Alzheimer's Association Diagnosis, Assessment, and Treatment Monitoring Program. 12,500 patients who weren't demented at the time of visit had their data, actually it was many more than that, but the folks who were included were folks who were on vitamin D from the very beginning through to the very end, and the folks who were considered not on vitamin D never took any vitamin D. Very rigorous. Anybody who even took a little vitamin D somewhere in the middle got excluded. What they found was a 40% reduction in Alzheimer's. That's pretty significant. They claim they don't know the mechanism. I have deep roots in vitamin D. 15 years ago, I was advocating it for its longevity effects and effect on heart disease, and many papers suggesting it, and nobody could quite figure out why, and I was roundly criticized for being a little bit over passionate about it. How can you reduce overall mortality 15% and dementia 40% unless your vitamin D plays a massive role in something more foundational? Well, we do know that vitamin D basically affects 10% of your genome. But let's look a little deeper. Study from Germany 2 years ago, looking at Plasmalogen and vitamin D. And it turns out that when you are deficient in vitamin D, you don't make plasmalogens. And it is the loss of plasmalogens that drives Alzheimer's. Plasmalogens are the lipids that make up your brain. The glia, the white matter of your brain, is a plasmalogen molecule made with olive oil, and that one is particularly good at helping conduct electricity and insulate axons. Your gray matter and the synapses in your gray matter, all 4 quadrillion of them, are some 70% plasmalogen made with fish oil, DHA. And DHA is particularly adept at helping it be super liquid and shape-shifting. We could not have developed a central nervous system without those 2 fundamental plasmalogens. And vitamin D drives their metabolism and manufacturing. That's the answer. And that brings together a bunch of other lines of inquiry. For example, we know that you can define multiple sclerosis by how far somebody is from the equator. The exception being, if you go up to Norway, where people eat lots of ocean fish and get vitamin D from their fish oil from the fish, it suddenly rebounds. But the rest of the world, the further north you are, the further south you are, the more your risk of MS. Multiple sclerosis is a plasmalogen deficiency disease, and we can now cure it, not with vitamin D, but with plasmalogens. High-dose plasmalogens will completely cure multiple sclerosis. This is really cool. We have 2 lines of evidence that support each other, and it makes sense. This research came along 15 years too late for my career as a wellness teacher in organized healthcare. But in my functional medicine practice, it's right on. Vitamin D prevents dementia, and it does it because of producing plasmalogens. What will work for me? Well, I'm taking plasmalogens, keep my brain healthy, and I'm taking vitamin D. You should be too. This is Dr. Whitcomb for News and Nutrition. Vitamin D prevents Alzheimer's.